Paula Shear talked about that in her TED talk about these plateaus when she was early in her career, huge jumps, and it just basically the graph just shifts. So it's like to and then it kind of is like.
Yeah, now I'm like the first 10 minutes of a Flaming Lips gig, I'm thinking, yeah, this is it. And then it's the after, I'm thinking, yeah, what was that, And even that gets worse and worse each time. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was just me.
Yeah. Well, the Flaming Lips or everything.
No, the Flaming Lips. I was like, what? Wait.
Yeah.
Everyone really likes this band.
Yeah.
But isn't Yoshime kind of like weird with Asian people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only the last 5 albums that aren't very interesting, but before that was good. Yeah, I don't know, it must be out there somewhere. I suppose reading and stuff always sort of, it seems, I don't know, just get, but I don't know.
Like reading is the inspiration you most like?
It still seems sort of fresher and kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just the more you know, the more you kind of do it, the more cynical, I don't know, I do feel quite cynical about it, but maybe that's just the sense of, I don't know, it's just sort of, I don't know, again, it's somewhere in between you two guys, It's like sort of the sense of trying to make a shape for this thing that could have a meaning, versus this like, fucking hell, this is really just like fancy
Whose
shit
shape is it for?
Above folks and fireplaces, and what is that, Not that, I mean, I've been trying to sell out for years, but no one's buying, But, yeah, it's out there somewhere, but I don't know where. Or maybe it is in the shape of something you're talking about, it's by kind of, just kind of forgetting about these sort of different boxes of things. You're kind of looking in between stuff and kind of going through that to something else that's perhaps a bit more authentic or meaningful. Or
I could ask you a stupid question then.
Oh God, you know too much.
Things to come. Arnett Coleman. And I also bought This Is Our Music, which has got an amazing cover. I actually bought it just for the cover. The cover is so cool. And then I went home, I thought I'll Google it and find out what did they look like that deliberately. And I found out the Soup Dragons made an album called This Is Our
Art.
This is our art.
So
I have that on cassette.
Arnett Coleman?
No, it was based on. Sorry, no.
Inspiration at all.
No, even then it was a sort of it was a sort of artwork that I'd made already. Like it was in second year at art school that I made it specifically to hang outside the sort of front of the Macintosh building on that sort of Macintosh kind of thing. That this is our art, useless, boring, impotent, elitist, and very, very beautiful. But I look quite good in the cover of the album. So. Anyway,
I went to Munich a number of years back to give a talk to the Transmission Gallery, and I'd only been on transmission for 2 weeks, and there were supposed to be 3 other people going who all lost their passports or had disappeared.
No pressure.
So I went on my own and had to give a talk a little bit similar to this, but it was supposed to be like 15 minutes each, different person. But it was about 5 minutes each person and about 2 hours me just making up my own idealistic version of transmission to all these people. And I got back to the space, like they had like a little bit for us to stay, and it was like a super bare room, but on the wall above my bed was that record.
What?
Yeah. And I said to them, "Oh wow, that's Soup Dragons, that's Ross Sinclair," and they went, "Who?" And I was like, "Oh, alright, okay." But there was not really anything else in the room. It was very odd.
Oh God.
That could be great though, because that means the image, the thing, the object held more than the name.
Definitely.
Absolutely, I loved it.
But maybe that's the thing when you're talking about the sort of what's the object for, or what's the sort of meaning of the thing, and maybe that's the sort of promise that it can convey all these other more complex things we're talking about when you're not there to actually talk to me about it, but this aspiration that this thing can sort of somehow transmit through this Tunnocks kind of like shooting out kind of thing. I don't know, all these kind of conversations and dialogues kind of, they don't necessarily have to be there to say in words, sort of thing.
Well, the potential to be old school and like bring up like Kantian notions of like the art object, formalist, the art exists outside of the person who made it, that it can also transmit the things that you didn't mean for it to transmit. Right? And then it can be meaningful to another person irrespective of whatever you intended. I think that's the other thing that gets me juiced up is like, oh, like I put this in the world and somebody took it this other way, and that's way more interesting than what I thought I was doing. I think that's why we have social order. So social groups is that we can make each other. Unfortunately, we tear each other down all the time, but we have the potential of making each other's ideas better. And making each other better. In a way, it's like, and that's what I try to tell I have students who really worry about having it figured out before they make the thing. And I'm like, oh, hey, let me tell you, there's this little secret. You learn what it is you're doing as you're doing it. Sometimes you make a thing and you don't realize how meaningful it is until after you've made it. You just have to but you have to pay attention through the process. And you have to pay attention after it's out there that you are receptive to what it is, and that you can be malleable as you are shaping things, and it's malleable, realizing that it forms you too. We were talking about this with clothes. Yeah. Anyway. Cool.
Similarly to like tea.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Boom. That's an awesome income.
It's time for your performance first.
That's good. So,